Well, shit, what's up, Moss?
What's good? What's good?
Wanted to sit down with you today, get a little more in depth about who you are and what this new project is coming, and meaning to you.
Yeah.
So I know you got the music videos, you got the promos in line, but personally, I feel like you don't have anything to where people could get a better understanding of you.
Yeah.
So this is what this is all about: sitting you down, getting you in the studio, chopping it up.
Yeah. I'm cool with that, I feel like this is something that I've been needing. I've had people in my life say that I'm a little, private. So I think it's time to kind of, share a little more.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to start with, for those who don't know you, who is Mossman and, what does that mean?
Well, I would say that Mossman, as an entity is like the journey of a boy into a man. When I first started making music, I was a boy, and I had different names along the way. People used to call me MC Moss for a while. I got the nickname Moss because my last name is Moore, and so that was kind of like the nickname that everybody called me. And so I feel like I changed it into Mossman because I'm on the journey to becoming a man. And so that's why, the name is Mossman. And who is Mossman? Mossman is an artist that is, trying to share his life experiences with the world and basically trying to be somebody that other people can have as, background music for their journey,
That's hard.
Yeah. So, I think Mossman it's an ongoing process too. I feel like Mossman isn't a final thing. I think the journey of a man is never final. You're always trying to progress and make yourself be better than you were, the previous day. So, if I had to summarize Mossman, I would say that would be somewhat of a summary of who Mossman is.
I personally never knew that, so that's hard.
Word.
And I was saying, when you with Moss, you get more of a man.
I mean, when you with Moss, you get more of a man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. So, where are you from originally? What's your hometown? Where was your upbringing in this music shit?
I grew up with a single mom, and I never got a chance to meet my father and who he was. He was gone before I was even born. So I kind of moved a lot. I never really had a stable place to kind of live or, to call home. My family is originally from North Palm Springs. That's where we kind of originated. I would say my great grandparents originated there. But if I had to say a hometown, I like to say I represent Palm Springs. I'm from the Coachella Valley, but I represent Palm Springs. If I had to pick a specific city that I could say is my hometown, I would be, D-Town's finest, which is Desert Hot Springs, which is a little east of Palm Springs. It's not well known on the map from a lot of people who know Palm Springs, so that's why I usually just say Palm Springs to make it easy. But my hometown is Palm Springs. I've lived in a lot of places. I grew up in Moreno Valley a little bit. I've lived every city in the valley. I lived in Houston for a while. I've lived a lot of places, but if I had to pick a hometown, it would be Palm Springs.
Tough.
Yeah.
I'm from Bay, so I say San Francisco.
Word.
It's people know San Mateo.
Yes. So you know.
I hear you.
Word.
So in life, what are some things that influence you to become the man you are today? And then who also influences your music, creativity as well? So who did you look up to?
Yeah. In life, I think a lot of things were always, ever changing for me. In my youth, I used to look up to my mother, and then as I started to grow and find out, I'm a man, and there's gonna be a journey of a man that my mother can't teach me, and so my influences started to change. Which for a moment in time, it was my grandfather. He's not blood related, but he was like somebody who I was under his wing for a long time, and he kind of gave me a lot of foundational things that I needed to grow into who I needed to become. And then, from there, it went into like different basketball coaches that I had and football coaches. They became like father-like figures for me. And then I would say like my major influence when I started to realize, I'm a person and I got choices to make to become who I want to become, it became my uncle. My uncle was pretty much my favorite person in the world. He kind of showed me everything I needed to know about life that wasn't in particular about religion or, the things that my mother would kind of instill in me. He gave me the underbelly of things. And so he became, the person that I idolized. And also he was like the person that would pick me up and put me in the car with him and like let me freestyle with him. He was the first person to make me freestyle. He'd get in the car and throw a beat on and he'd start spitting to me, and then he'd be like, all right, Sin, show me what you got. And my bars would be trash, but I would try to, mimic him. And I think that, he's no longer with us, but that was like my favorite person in the world. And so he kind of introduced me into music. He was somebody who was already in depth with music. One of his good friends was DJ Day, who's like a popular DJ in the Valley. And they were friends when they were growing up. And so he introduced me into music.
So your uncle was already in the music scene?
He kind of was in the music scene. He would come out to LA, do dances, and he would do hip hop and rap and freestyles. He was like more so in the freestyle scene. So he kind of opened up the door for me with that. So as far as like musically though, beyond like the personal, I had a lot of different influences. When I first started, I wanted to be like Kanye, and I thought, oh yeah, Kanye is the dopest. I thought he was really cool. And I also, really drew like a liking towards Currency. He was one of my favorite artists. But somebody that I say that like was my first ever introduction to doing music was Mace. Creatively, I would say Currency. Like I always felt like he had the best journey. He was somebody who kind of like started on labels and was kind of like the other guy, and then he took his own route and he made his own lane. And I always felt like that was like the perfect path. Like I always wanted to take that path when it came to music. But as far as like making music, I mean, I take inspiration from, I feel like everybody really. I try to listen to myself as far as what I want to say and how I want to say it. But I listen to everybody to see what is missing in the game and like what is not being said musically, or how is somebody not conveying themselves musically, and I try to offer that, so I feel like I listen to everybody and I'm influenced by everybody because they kind of show me, what I should or should not be doing. So yeah, but if I had to pick like one person that like ultimately influenced me, it was probably Currency.
That's
yeah.
What about, goals in life, and then like goals with this music? Like, what are you trying to accomplish in this life?
Yeah.
What are some milestones that you want to reach?
I think my goal in life is to do the things that I love, and that be the way that I get compensated. I think that's a lot of people's goal in life is, to do something that you enjoy doing and that be your job. But my overall goal in life, I think, is to shed light on the people that don't necessarily get the light shed on them, and give them an opportunity to show the world that they're a light too. And I feel like that is my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to do that, is because I felt like I was always one of those people. I feel like I was one of those people that nobody really paid attention to as far as, you know, family, school, sports, everything that I ever did. I kind of felt like a little invisible. Yeah, so I think that, you know, part of me wants to be the person that can open the doors and shed light on those people. As far as musically, my goal is to create a community of people, you know, that realize that they're different from the rest of the world and they're not into what the rest of the world is into. And so, you know, musically, I want to create a community for those people where they can say, hey, this is what we listen to, this is what we're on, this is what we do. And so, you know, that is my goal. And I feel like one of my goals have already been reached. I used to say to myself, you know, I'm going to make 10 albums. I had like this vision board when I was in college, like, yo, I'm going to make 10 albums and I'm going to be the hottest artist ever, you know, and then you learn that life is a journey. And so it ain't that easy. So this is, you know, I've been working on what is known as album 10 for me. And so I feel like a lot of goals I've kind of reached. And so now my next goal is to basically be, you know, like the Drake of my city. You know, I want to be what Drake is to Toronto. I want to be that for my city. And so that's my goal. My goal is to be able to say, when you go to Palm Springs or when you think about Palm Springs, you don't think about the golf courses or the resorts. You think, oh, Mossman is from there. So that's, you know, that's my goal musically.
That's tough, though.
Word.
Yeah. Fuck Coachella.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck Coachella. Coachella's secondary, you know?
So tell us about, you know, this new project you got coming up. It's called, you know, 3%ers. I don't know if it's called 3%ers, but you talk a lot about, you know, the 3% on there.
Yeah.
And what does that mean to you, and, like, who are they?
So I felt like, you know, with this new project that I'm working on, you know, I've always felt like I wanted to be a part of something that represented me as a person. And so, you know, I started to realize, and I think a lot of people, you know, realize as you grow in life, everybody's kind of got their lane. And you know, there used to be this thing about like the 7%ers or the 5%ers, all that. So I kind of started looking at those type of things in depth, and I started to realize that, like, when you look at life, you know, there's 90% of people that are unaware of what's happening in life. You know, they're just going through the motions and the mundane things of life, and they're just living life. And then there's 7% of people who actually can understand life and what life's about, but they don't really, you know, care. You know, there's not a lot of care within them. Their care is within self and what they're trying to do. And so, you know, they see what's happening in the world, but they only care about them and theirs. And then, you know, 3% of the world are the people who are aware of what's happening in the world, and they actually care. You know, and I feel like I've always been one of those people who sees that things could be better. You know, we can make things better. And I care to be the person who wants to be able to make a change. And so I would say, like, you know, that's the levels of the 3%ers, you know, 97 and then there's 3. But then I like my lyrics, I like everything to have a meaning, but I also like there to be an under meaning. And so the under meaning of that is, when it comes to me as an artist, 90% of people are unaware of who I am. They have no clue who Mossman is, you know? And then there's 7% of people who, you know, are like from my city, who know who I am, but, like, you know, they don't really care who I am. Like, I have nothing to do with their life and I don't matter to them. They don't even care about me. But there's a small portion, you know, there's a 3% portion that know who I am and they fuck with me and they see what's happening, you know? And so that's why, you know, I say we the 3%ers, you know. So when you see 3%ers on the project, that's what it represents.
Oh, for sure, 3%.
Oh, word. You know what I'm saying?
No, I value that because I never knew what it meant. I just went with it because it sounds sonically good.
Word.
And like you always got like some like math putting together some shit.
Yeah.
Teaching people lessons, and it's dope, you know, that the project means something bigger to you.
Yeah, you know, I think things should be with depth. I think that's what's been lost, is depth.
Yeah.
So
I hear you, man. I hear you. What's up with the whole Stay Stupid thing? Like, you got the shirt on, you know, you got some other clothing on there too, so.
I would say Stay Stupid is the slogan for the 3%ers. You know, it started off as just a hat, and like I kind of wanted that to be the thing, but then I was like, yo, this should be part of like the merch, the slogan of what the 3%ers are. And, you know, like I said, I like everything to have different levels of meaning. So on surface level, Stay Stupid is basically, you know, if you want to grow in life, and if you want to make yourself evolve, then you have to stay stupid. You can't feel like you know everything and you got all the answers. You got to stay stupid. But then on the flip side of that too, if you don't want to grow, if you feel like you know everything and you good where you at and you know you straight, you know what I'm saying? Well, then just stay stupid, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why Stay Stupid it's a multi-layered thing, because, you know, you got to stay stupid if you want to grow, but you got to stay stupid if you don't want to grow. And then, you know, like the 3%ers, the under meaning of it is, you know, for the people who know about Mas, you know, we act like, you know, he ain't the best, but we know he the best. You know what I'm saying? So we stay stupid, you know what I'm saying? We act like, you know, this ain't where the wave is. But for those of the people who don't know about Mas, well, you know what? You can stay stupid too, because unless you're ready to find out about him, you know, you ain't gonna be ready to know about him. So, you know, we like to tell everybody to stay stupid. And I think it's the perfect quote to, you know, to everybody. You know, it's a positive and it's a negative. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, what's up with the Stay Suave stuff? Because you say, like, you always say suave, not stay suave.
Suave.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I think that when it comes to individuals, especially artists, you know, there's always a word that kind of defines who they are. And like sometimes like you see like certain people and you go, oh, that's a thug, or you go, that's a gangster, or, you know, you look at that person and you go, oh, he looks like a pimp, or, you know, this person looks like you know, somebody that's chill, or this person looks like they do drugs. Like, I felt like ever since the beginning, the one word that kind of defines me and my music is suave. You know, like, I make suave music, and I think suave is it's like confidence without arrogance. You know, I think suave is a way of, you know, who you are. You don't have to think about it. You know, it's just who you are. And yeah, so I think that's why I always say suave, you know, because I think that's just the period on the look, the music, on everything that I do. It's, you know, I do it suave, baby.
It's good branding too.
Yeah, and like the origins of it was, I came up with like a nickname, which is Nacho Suave, and which is like my Instagram handle. Cause like when I first started, like, Nacho Suave was like an alter ego that I would like tap into when it was time to like go out to bars and stuff. So if a girl asked me my name, I'd be like, oh, it's Nacho, you know? Yeah. So like, you know, it kind of started there, and then it kind of, you know, progressed.
Nacho, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so.
Because you got to look like Hispanic a little bit if you don't know.
A little bit, and so people don't know. Yeah. I've had hella people come up to me and start speaking Spanish, and like, I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? I only know poquito.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But, okay, is it like you got some current fans, those 3% that really fuck with you?
Yeah.
You got, you know, the 7% that don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You got 90% that are unaware.
Yes.
What do you want the 3% that do know you, mm-hmm. and the other 90% who don't, 97% who don't care or are unaware? What do you want them to know about Mas?
I think that I want you to know that Moss is about belief, and Moss Man is about belief. You know, when I was a kid and I was going to church, they once said that you know, in the Bible it says, "For ye are gods," and I believe that. I believe that I was somebody that was an entity of a God, and a God is a creator and a conceiver. You know, when Nipsey Hussle said, you know, the only difference between me and everybody else is I didn't give up. And so I think that, you know, when you think about Moss Man, I want you to think of somebody who's a believer, who believed in himself no matter what he's overcome. You know, all the things that I've been through, I've still believed that I could do this and I could make it happen. And not only do I believe in myself, and I think a consequence of believing in myself is being able to believe in others. And I think from that, you know, I want other people to believe in them. I want my music to be the background music for when you're chasing your dreams and for the things that you want to accomplish. And if I can't invest in you monetarily, then I would love to invest with you just verbally, just being able to say, you got this, you know, you could do it. And I feel like that's kind of what my music encompasses, you know. So I think that when it comes to what I want my fans to know and future fans hopefully to know, and then the people that don't care to know, is that I'm not going to stop doing this. This is what I love to do. And, you know, at the end of the day, don't worry about Moss. And I mean that both ways. You know, don't worry about me. I'm going to be on it and I'm going to make more. And don't worry about Moss, because I'm always going to have more music. I'm always going to get better, because this is what I want to be the best version of me at. So, you know, I think that that's what I want people to know, is that, you know, I'm never going to quit at this, and I don't think that you should quit at whatever you want to do in life either.
That's facts. 10 albums in, man.
10 albums, man.
10 albums. That's wild.
Yeah. Been at it. And that's not even counting the mixtapes and all that other stuff. Just hard work and dedication, you know?
I mean, give him a little sign off, man. Like, Moss, let him know to find you.
Hey, you know, I'm on Instagram, Nacho_Suave, TikTok. They deleted my TikTok as soon as I started doing numbers, so now it's The Real Moss Man 2. I'm on YouTube at The Real Moss Man. You know, I got a new project coming out. The goal is for it to come out around August, and it's called Don't Worry About Moss. And, you know, hopefully everybody loves it. They say hope is not a strategy, so we're strategizing so that people don't hopefully love it.
They would.
No doubt. Yeah. Appreciate you. Swah.
That was solid, bro.
Word.
A little hiccup in